So, Tamils within Britain, Tamil asylum seekers have been fleeing genocide and have found great difficulty in finding shelter and safety within Britain. How will your party ensure that Tamil asylum seekers will be treated with respect and granted sanctuary in the UK?
Well, first let me say I've dealt with individual cases in my constituency that fall into that precise category, and worked very, very hard with the individuals concerned and their families, trying to get the Home Office and ministers to accept that sending people back would be extremely serious and frankly illegal. So I've seen in practice how some of those individual cases work. As a party, we have a pretty strong set of policies when it comes to respecting asylum seekers, both in terms of ensuring that their cases are properly heard, and not just sort of processed as if they are just numbers, but their real human stories are properly heard with proper rights of appeal. But also, actually, when they're here in the UK, to give them a chance to contribute and to have a better standard of living. So I have led a campaign. Christine Jardine, my Liberal Democrat colleague, has been a particularly strong voice in this. It's not just for Tamil asylum seekers, but asylum seekers generally, that they be allowed to work. Once they've gone through the initial test and security test, they should be allowed to work from 3 months of being here. And that would dramatically transform some people's lives who are some of the most marginalised people in our society, when sometimes they're not allowed to work until they get the refugee status, which sometimes can be years.
Yeah. And speaking of their contribution to society, despite all these challenges faced by the Tamil community, they have been thriving in the UK. As a last question, what message do you have for them?
Well, I think the British Tamil community is one of the most amazing communities I've ever had the privilege to serve and work with and get to know. In Kingston, we've got an amazing Tamil community. I've got some very close Tamil friends. We've got 2 Liberal Democrat councillors here, Yogan Yuganathan and Tai Allen, and they've taught me an awful lot. In my own constituency, we have Kingston Institute of Tamil Culture. There's quite a lot of cricket played. There's the Hindu temple I go to visit when I'm invited, and the vibrancy of the community here is just fantastic, and the contribution in all walks of life is amazing. And I think it's recognizing that and showing how positive it is, and what we should actually feel privileged. And given many of the people, not all, but many of the people who've come to the UK from Sri Lanka who are Tamils have had shocking experiences, I think it's a very good thing that we're able to bring them into our country and our society. And I just sometimes think that's not appreciated enough.